You're about to witness a live seller call about how I bought a house for $32,000 and sold it for $120,000 in Trenton, New Jersey, just a few weeks later for $85,000 profit. I've been calling sellers on the phone for years, buying deals all around New Jersey. I'm going to give you guys the secret breakdown of how to land super deep discounted deals. So just want to see how we can help you out with this property. So we bought this deal for $32,000. We put no money into it. We sold it for $120,000 a month later for $85,000 profit. Stay till the end to see the 4 problems that we fixed for this seller to land this massive deal.
Yeah, I need to do this, sometime in December, I guess.
Yeah. Do you know? Have you gotten some notices from the city as far as any like foreclosure dates?
2 years, like at the end of December.
I mean, especially you own the property free and clear, so you have all that equity into the house. So just the last thing you'd want to do is just give that to the city. The name of the game is pretty simple. Fix big problems, get a big paycheck. So the first problem that we fixed for Ed, the seller, was stopping the foreclosure from happening. We send mailers out to people with liens. Specifically here, a tax lien. So that means that they just haven't been paying their property tax. The city was about to take it in 30 days. Now in New Jersey, you have about 2 years to fix this problem. But like a lot of other sellers who become motivated and distressed, they procrastinate. They don't think it's going to happen until it's almost too late. So Ed called us at a time where not many other people were going to be able to buy this house and stop that foreclosure. If you listed the property with a realtor, those are financed offers. They probably would take 30 to 60 days to close, and the house wasn't in that type of shape to really do that. So he needed a quick cash closure,
it's
just like us.
House.
Yeah, it looks like, I'd assume probably, is it a 2-bed, 1-bath?
No, it's a 1-bed.
Oh, 1-bed, okay.
It's got kind of a big living room, a big bedroom, a big living room, a bathroom, and garage, and a basement.
Okay, I got you.
Leaking a bit, like the pipe leaks, and I have the cold water shut off.
Okay.
And the cold water faucet in the bathroom is broken. And the sump pump is starting to malfunction. Yeah, and I know there's some cracks in the driveway and stuff like that. Both the washer and dryer are conked.
Okay.
The washer, the spin cycle's broken. I'm not a great decorator to say.
Oh, don't worry. We've bought in, I'm sure, a lot worse houses than this one. I'll tell you that. We actually we got a rental not too far up the road from this one, and that I think similar. It's like 800 square feet. I think it's just a 1-1 as well. So problem number 2, guys, is Ed thinks it's a really bad house, which it's not the best. It's a 1-bed, 1-bath. Who really wants that? The good news is the taxes are low enough where it could be a rental property. But on top of that, Ed feels like the condition of the house is really poor. Now, sometimes you'll talk to distressed sellers and the house will be in terrible, horrible condition, and they'll talk about it like it's not that bad. Other sellers like Ed, which are better sellers to be talking to, are ones where the house is in rough shape, but it's not that bad, but they're talking about the house like it's a massive problem in its current condition. These are good leads for us, and this is a big problem for Ed. Is he's kind of embarrassed, doesn't want a lot of people to walk through the house. He just wants to get it sold quickly. Easy cash buyers like us, where he doesn't have to remove or fix anything or make it nice and presentable. And you're currently living there?
Yeah, I have.
Do you already have a place you're ready to move to?
No, I have not.
Like if we buy the house to stay local or go somewhere else? Have you?
Yeah, I got to stay. Yeah, I'm going to stay close to my mother. I don't even know if I'm going to become homeless at some point right now. It's crazy. I need to get some money. This thing sold before that date comes. My
partner's got some apartments right in Ewing that we recently purchased a house from an older lady that needed to sell as well, and she didn't have anywhere to go, so she ended up just leasing one of the units that we had in Ewing in an apartment. So maybe something like that we could even try to help you get into because a new apartment or something. So problem number 3 for Ed is the fact that he doesn't know where he's gonna live. I mean, this guy's literally 30 days from the city taking his house, and he would be homeless, and he's freaking out about that, right? This is a big pain point for Ed, so it's really important that we help him out with that. It's not as simple as we're just gonna buy his house. It's us helping Ed make sure that he finds housing when we buy the house and over the next 30 days or so. For a guy like Ed, it's really difficult to find a place to rent because, let's be honest,
Right now, he has no money in the bank. He has no money for a down payment. He doesn't have a good work history right now. So his credit's not good. He's getting foreclosed on. A lot of landlords are not going to want this guy as a tenant. We got creative here. Actually, my partner, Steve, his dad, he owns a bunch of rentals, apartment complex nearby, that we were able to be flexible with him to get him in as a tenant, because the way we structured the deal, we had Ed put a lot of upfront money for that rent for security. So we were able to fix this problem for Ed, which was a massive part about buying this deal at a deep discount.
By any chance happen to know of any storage facilities? I'm going to need money to pay them, I guess, right, to get my stuff in. So do I get the money before?
Yeah, well,
do I have to have the storage facility already and then get paid?
We could do a few different ways. I know what we did recently even was we just bought the house as is, essentially, with everything in it, but contingent on
and then you give the person time to get their
yeah, exactly. So yeah, you'll have some time, and we could try to help kind of facilitate that, because it's saving us time too. Because anything, it's kind of take what you want, leave the rest. So everything that you want out of the property, you can take into storage. But if you have stuff you want to leave as well, that's totally fine. But we'll give you some time, and you'll have the cash by then, because remember, at closing, whatever we agree upon past that 12K, you'll get that.
Okay, so the cash, if I had the money in the bank, then I can.
Right, you'll get a check.
Let's work on paying the storage facility.
Right, so you'll get a check from title the day that we close. Now you'll have some cash to go get a storage facility. We even have some movers or some help in the area.
Wow, no kidding. Wow.
That could
I got myself and my little car.
So problem number 4 we fixed for Ed was finding him a storage unit. He's obviously a little bit of a hoarder. If you see some of the photos, he had like a drum set downstairs and a bunch of crap in the house that he wants to keep. It was really important for him, knowing that he's going to downsize into an apartment, to find a place to put all his stuff. It's very clear, if you're listening to Ed, that's important to him. So I made it really simple. At the time, I didn't even know exactly where the storage unit is, what we could help him out with, but during times like this, you want to be very solutions oriented. So I made it seem like to Ed, we'll be able to help you out, find a storage unit, get your stuff moved. If you need, even after we buy the house, some time to get your stuff out because you're not going to have money to pay for a storage unit prior, that's totally okay. And actually, what ended up happening was Ed stayed in the house for an extra 2.5 weeks. He was living there while he was moving his stuff out of the house. Typically, we wouldn't allow someone to do that if we buy the house from them, especially in New Jersey. It's really hard to get squatters out of the house if they just own the house and we just bought it. So that could be a sticky situation, but we felt like the only way we were really going to be able to buy this house from Ed was giving him that full service experience and pretty much just giving him anything that he wanted. So we let him stay in the house for a couple extra weeks, and he was really happy about that. That obviously was a major concern of his that we were able to address. On top of that, if you listen to this part of the call, this is the first time I really started closing it. I started to explain how you're going to get the money from title at close. This is what we're going to do. At this point, I feel like I kind of had him locked in to working with us, and he doesn't need to call anyone else. He doesn't need to talk about price, because we're going to be able to help solve all 4 of his problems.
How much in taxes you owe?
For property tax?
Yeah. Do you know what that lien amount is?
Yeah, it's up. I mean, there was like an outside lien too. So it's probably like close to 12 grand.
12 grand. Okay. And have you thought about if we could pay off that tax lien, how much cash are you looking to walk away with after we pay that off?
I don't know. I'm going to be at your mercy. Yes.
And are you the sole owner of the property?
Yes, I am.
Okay. That always makes things easier. With your situation with the city, we'll probably want to move on this pretty quickly. Are you around the rest of this week? Would we be able to come by possibly even later today?
Tomorrow afternoon might be possible.
So we could kind of work around your schedule, and we would probably only need about 30 minutes or so just to check out the property. I mean, we buy houses like this all the time. So it's very simple. We have a 1-page contract. It's just, hey, here's what we could pay for it. We'll close as soon as title's cleared, and it's just all cash, no no, like I said, no backing out or anything like that. So then, in an ideal world, we could get that signed tomorrow, and then we could close as quickly as 14 days. And then once you have the cash for that, like I said, we could give you, a little time to get all your stuff out of there, and then try to help you. Like I said, I could even you could talk to Steve tomorrow about some options locally in the area that you could possibly rent out.
Okay. All right. Great. It was nice talking. I haven't talked to anybody else. You're the first person I talked to. I
Okay.
left a message with somebody else, but they never got back to me.
Hey, hopefully first and last.
You're very helpful. So I'm going to try to stick with you.
Yeah, this is like I said, this is really what we deal with. Unfortunately, sometimes these things happen and people lose jobs and kind of need that, for sure buyer. So Steve will be there tomorrow and we'll be ready. So you should walk away with a pretty good chunk to just kind of help you, weather the storm.
I survive for a little longer and I got a job. So
yeah. So
it's not a great job. It doesn't pay a lot, but okay.
In an ideal world, we'll get that signed tomorrow at the house, and then we'll secure your funds at title right down the street from you. We typically use. Hopefully, we can set the close date for around 14 to 21 days, and you should have that check, well before Christmas time.
You're making me feel a lot better. Thanks for helping me out here.
So after that call the next day, my partner Steve, he went over there, walked the property quick, got it under contract, and everyone was really happy. So I hope you picked up on that last part of the call, how happy Ed was, how relieved he was. At that point, he felt like, of course he's going to work with us because we solved all his problems. So remember, solve big problems, get a big payday. Deals like this don't come around often, but you have to be ready for when they do. A lot of the times, sellers are going to be in a situation like this where they're that motivated, that distressed, need all these different things. But every single year we come across a few deals like this that need a lot of work, and those are typically the deals that we get paid the most on. Just remember when you're talking to these sellers and you're qualifying them out, if there's a bunch of different problems to fix, and the more problems to fix and the harder they are to fix, you should be seeing a bigger payday on the back end. Hope you guys saw a lot of value out of this video. If you did, please like, subscribe, check out the podcast and other videos I have on the channel. Till next time, guys, Ricky with the Flip Lab. See ya.